Just a few weeks after his retirement fight at UFC 318, Dustin Poirier and his Good Fight Foundation gave back in a big way. They handed out over 1,200 backpacks in their 5th annual back-to-school drive for the Lafayette community. That's the kind of man Dustin is. He's always been a fighter inside the cage, but outside, his heart's even bigger. Now let's talk about Sean O'Malley. He's got a fight prediction that not everyone agrees with. He thinks the matchup between Merab Dvalishvili and Corey Sandhagen is actually a lot closer than people realize. This isn't just a typical striker versus grappler fight. Corey's no joke. He's a complete fighter. Just look at what he did to Rob Font. Corey went all 5 rounds wrestling like a machine. He showed he can adapt and dominate on the ground if he needs to. O'Malley even said on the Overdogs podcast that he wouldn't be shocked if Corey pulled something crazy and took out Merab. It's hard to count.
23. 2. Y'all got 2, you need one more? There you go. You got 2 kids? Oh. You got 2 too? There's no more coming? No more piece. I don't offer that anymore. Thank you.
Sandhagen out, and Sean knows it. And here's something unexpected. Chael Sonnen believes Sean O'Malley will get his belt back in 2026. That's a bold prediction. On a recent episode of the Good Guy Bad Guy show, Sonnen and Daniel Cormier were talking about who they think will be UFC champs in 2026. And despite Sean losing back-to-back title fights to Merab Dvalishvili, Sonnen is sticking with him. He still sees something in Sean. That confidence, that potential. Chael hasn't given up on him. Meanwhile, Alex Pereira is putting in serious work. He's sharpening his wrestling and grappling ahead of his big rematch with Jamahal Hill at UFC 320, scheduled for October 4th. Alex knows what's at stake. He's not just relying on his striking.
How do you think the Sandhagen-Merab fight goes?
You know, it's me and Corey have very similar styles. Corey did do a really good job against Umar, creating scrambles and like keeping his hips high when Umar tried to get to his back. Merab felt so strong and, you know, just really strong in those certain positions. His gas tank's ridiculous. If I had to guess, Merab, but it's hard for me to count Corey out because I do think Corey, like, skill for skill, is one of the best guys in the UFC. I think he's got more skills overall than Merab, but Merab, that skill set he does have is so good, so dominant. It's very Khabib-like, but Corey, it wouldn't be surprised if Corey goes out there and does something.
Anymore, he's evolving. On the other side, Jamahal Hill is also grinding. He's working on his striking and it shows. A new clip shared by Red Corner MMA on X shows Hill looking focused, sharp, and dangerous. Now let's talk about Muhammad Mokaev. He's not done yet, not even close. Since parting ways with the UFC, Mokaev has been making moves. He's been winning fights in Brave CF, Karate Combat, and 971 FC. Even though he's been away from the UFC, his name still gets brought up all the time. People haven't forgotten about him. But the UFC, they've been quiet, ignoring him like he doesn't exist still.
And I'm gonna give one to you, and you're gonna wonder where it's coming from, but I believe Sean O'Malley gets his belt back.
Really?
I don't know how much Merab, I don't know how long Merab can stay at 135 pounds. That definitely has an expiration date, just that weight class alone. I do believe that O'Malley is the star of that division, absent Merab. So I'm gonna go with Pereira, the winner of our middleweight championship fight, and I'm gonna go to Sugar.
Mokaev isn't giving up. On a recent appearance on the Mighty Cast podcast, he opened up about what he's willing to do to get back into the UFC, but not at flyweight. He's aiming for bantamweight. He said, right now I can go to the bantamweight division also, but I have to bulk up a little bit. I think bantamweight stylistically is easier for me than flyweight. He's trained and sparred with some of the top bantamweights, Peter Yan, Saeed Nurmagomedov, and he feels confident in that weight class. At flyweight, I cut so much weight, sometimes I just don't have that power, he admitted. But at bantamweight, I feel stronger, I'm faster. He even said, if the UFC sent me a contract, I'd fight at bantamweight. I've got youth on my side. By the...
Listen, the guys, you guys tired, he's gonna wanna go slow. Don't let him go slow. Go fast.
Time I'm back in the rankings, those guys will be 35 or 36 years old. That's not just determination. That's someone who still believes they've got something to prove. And now onto Michael Bisping. He's got some doubts about Khamzat Chimaev's new game plan. Chimaev's been training in California with Sam Calavita, the same guy who helped TJ Dillashaw with his legendary cardio. They're calling this version of Khamzat a secret weapon. He's building the gas tank to go the distance, but Bisping, he's not convinced. On his YouTube channel, Bisping explained, "You can't be a marathon runner and a sprinter at the same time." He believes Khamzat is built to explode early. That raw power, that intensity, it works in the first round. But when it gets into deep waters, it could be trouble. Bisping said, "Look at the most explosive fighters. They're beasts in the first round. Conor McGregor, for example, he didn't have the best gas tank over 5 rounds, but round 1, you're in serious danger." That's how Bisping sees Khamzat, and if Dricus du Plessis can drag the fight into the later rounds, Bisping thinks it tilts in Dricus' favor. He even said, "The fact that Khamzat is a 2-1 favorite is crazy." And finally, let's talk about something that's not easy to say, but needs to be. Artem Lobov is ready to bury the hatchet with Conor McGregor. It's been a rough few years between them. They were more than just teammates, they were close friends, brothers in the fight game, but everything fell apart. It all started with that lawsuit Lobov filed against one of McGregor's businesses. After that, things got ugly, real ugly. McGregor went on social media, threatening Lobov in post after post in 2024. Their falling out was public, raw, and bitter. Lobov used to be one of Conor's most loyal guys. He always had his back, but that loyalty feels like it's gone now. Still, Lobov hasn't closed the door completely. On a recent appearance on the Ariel Helwani show, he opened up about how things are between him and McGregor right now, and he didn't sound angry. He didn't sound like someone holding a grudge. He sounded like someone who's hurt, but hopeful. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this content, give it a like and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with all the latest MMA news.